Thanks for tuning in to the Conch, a BringJoy podcast. I'm your host, Joy Newlish. I'm a first-generation Conch raised by a fourth. What does that add up to? A whole lot of Conch Pride. And that's what this show is all about, celebrating the incredible people of Key West and their stories from every corner of our Conch community. So sit back and relax, cuz. Let's do this thing.
Experience the beautiful backcountry of the Florida Keys through an adventure like no other. Our expertly trained crew will take you on the only true sailing excursion in Key West. Kayak through beautiful channels and snorkel in the wildlife refuge. Then settle down with some refreshments and treats before the sun sets. Danger Charters. Adventure awaits. Locals get 30% off.
Everybody here in Key West has been following your career. And, that's one of the things about Conchs. If one of us does something good, if we feel like we all are part of that journey. So I posted out on social media and I said that I was going to interview you if anybody had any questions. And I ended up with a couple of pages worth of questions. And they're really good questions. One of them comes from my favorite ball player and a guy I call him X-Man, your little brother, Javi Perez. He wants to know, what has being a 4-year starter at a D1 school taught you?
Honestly, it's taught me a lot in my work ethic and, never being satisfied. Like, just because I was a starter my freshman year didn't mean I was going to be the starter my sophomore year and my junior year and my senior year. It taught me that I had to work even harder than before because I needed to prove myself and I needed to prove to other people that that was my spot.
The next question he asked, and you just answered, is what advice do you have to younger players who dream about being in your position one day?
Right. I think you have to have a lot of confidence, and not to get down yourself when things get hard. Like, if you're having a bad day or a bad weekend hitting, not to give up and to keep on working and stay consistent and trust the process because it's a lot. It is. I've played softball my whole life, but I never gave up and it got me to where I am right now.
Good stuff. It's almost like we planned it. But another question came in from Tyler Randolph. What keeps you motivated to keep playing at this high level?
I would say my love for the game. I think that has a big role in my motivation, and especially like being a catcher is like a big role. And I think every season I get like a new opportunity to like go out there and just show out for everybody. So I think that's what keeps me motivated.
For the love of the game. That's good stuff. That might be the mic drop moment right there. And we're just getting started. Got another question from my friend Daliana Goins, one of your former teammates, Marina's mom.
Yes.
What does a college softball schedule look and feel like?
Okay, so every day, Monday through Thursday, because we play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Actually, this goes on Friday too. We have lifts from 6:30 to 7:30 in the morning, and then we practice from 9 in the morning to 12 in the afternoon. And then after that, you have to mix in like study hall hours, class, and just time for yourself, really. And then in the beginning of the season, we have non-conference games, which is like a lot of tournaments. So it's like 3 games or probably up to like 5 or 6 games a weekend. And then now we're in conference, which is just 1 game a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we have a few midweeks. We have 2 more midweeks to go this season, but the midweek games are usually Florida teams like FGCU. Tomorrow we play FAU actually. So, and then we have conference this weekend. So I think the conference games are a little more chill on your body since it's 1 game a day, but the conference games are just super intense because, everybody's battling in the conference.
Yeah, for sure. It's like 2 seasons in a season, right?
Yeah.
And you guys just got back from New Mexico?
Yes, we did on Sunday night.
What's that travel like? Do you get to travel in fancy airplanes or are you traveling commercial flights with the rest of the people?
Commercial flights with the rest of the people. Yeah, we get a lot of A lot of stairs in the airport because we're like, where are all those girls going? But yeah.
That's good stuff. Where's one of the coolest places that you've traveled to and played in terms of the atmosphere and the softball vibe?
Last year we went to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it was a tournament where we walked across the street from our resort and the field was there. And I think that was really cool. I've never been to Mexico, so, like, even when we got off the plane, there's people there in, like, their little trucks with, just put our bags in there, and they brought it to the resort, and there was a bunch of other teams there too, so it was kinda like travel ball all over again, but it was just a tournament.
Nice, nice. One of the other questions Daliana wanted to know are what are the similarities and differences between college ball and high school ball?
I think the similarities is it's still teamwork. You gotta have a competitive mindset. You're all working to win, building relationships with teammates, that kind of stuff. But I think the biggest difference is probably the level of competition and the amount of commitment you have to give. Because, like high school is like, yeah, we're gonna go to school, we got games, you have practice, all that. But in college, you're living by your mom's not making you dinner, like, you're living by yourself, and it's your job to, like, get all your stuff done, do your laundry, make your dinner, all that kinda stuff.
That's another great lead into the next question. Angela Ewing asks, she's one of the Take Stock in
Mhm.
Children coaches, and she wants to know what advice do you have for incoming freshman students at FIU?
I would say not to be afraid to ask for help. I think that was a big challenge for me, even though I do have a lot of accommodations because I am an athlete. But, just not being afraid to ask for help and getting out there and staying on top of your work and getting involved in things early, I think is important.
That's great advice. And what have you been studying in your time at FIU?
At first I was elementary education, but I changed to psychology, but I still do want to be a teacher. So,
Okay, I have to ask, are you going to come back home when you graduate?
yes.
All right, good, because I know you come from a long line of educators too. So
Yeah, I do.
I'm Joy Newlish, and I appreciate you tuning into my podcast. My purpose is to bring joy into my life and the lives of others. If you enjoyed this episode, drop a review, share, and subscribe because there's a lot of good stuff on tap. You can also follow BringJoy on YouTube and Instagram or check my website at joynewlish.com. Now go bring joy to the people in your world. Until next time, much love.